Hello my loves, I am back for a video that I have been meaning to do for so long now. Honestly, I sit down to do it and then I just don't have enough time, or the dog's barking or whatever's going on. So I'm so sorry that this is a lot later than planned or expected. So first of all, grab yourself a cuppa. I've just got a new one. This one's from Katie Loxton, this mug. It's so nice. This one is going to be a real chatty video catching you up on basically endometriosis and my surgery and how I've been doing since and blah blah blah. So yeah, grab yourself a drink, get ready. Okay, so my vlog of my endometriosis surgery kind of went a bit mad. I put it up thinking like maybe a couple of hundred people might see it, might help someone, great, awesome. Anyway, now it's on like 16,000 views. I get messages every day on my account, which has actually changed, by the way, guys. My Instagram account is Everything with Emma. It was Endo with Emma, but I changed it, which I will explain a bit more in the video why. But yeah, I get messages every day with people saying how much the video helped them and calmed them down before surgery. Had some really lovely comments, and honestly, that is exactly what I set out to do and more. I didn't think it would reach that far. I didn't think that people would watch the whole thing. I struggled to watch the whole thing editing it, so I don't know how you guys have done it. But yeah, it seems to have gone really well, and I've had loads of people asking me for an update. Now, I had my surgery. If you haven't watched my previous video, I will try and link it below. I had my surgery on 1st of April this year, so 2021. And we are now in November, so I'm 7 months on. And yeah, honestly, guys, I'm doing great. I'm doing so good. And do you know what? I was gonna write all these notes for this video of like things to answer, but I'm just gonna chat to you guys about what it's been like since surgery, what the recovery was like, how I am now, plan of action. I'm just gonna cover everything. I'm gonna chat to you like you're my best friend and basically put way too much information on the internet. So the first thing for me to probably cover would be to kind of go from where I left off on the last video. So I think I was like 5-6 days, maybe a week recovery post-op, and then I just stopped the video. Do you know what? I did really well. The recovery was really easy for me. Everybody's different. Please don't watch this video or my previous one and compare yourself. Everybody's body is different. Everyone has different experiences. That was my 3rd surgery, so I'm quite used to it now. And you know, the time before was a much longer recovery, so it really does vary. So please don't compare yourself. But yeah, I recovered really quickly, went back to work quickly, even though I told myself I wouldn't. Classic me. Kind of got back to normal. The cramps were definitely still there, still had that pelvic pain. Had a little bit of a problem, I believe it was about a week post-op, after I stopped filming actually, my lower incision site, just on the bikini line, that became a little bit irritated and it opened because they were glued, so I didn't have, by the way, if you're squeamish, please don't listen to this video. I'm very open and honest. Yeah, so my incision opened a little bit, so I just had to go and get that dressed, redressed and sorted, but I didn't have to go on antibiotics, which was really good. So my last op, it took me 8 months to fully recover and become pain-free as such, so it wasn't till Christmas. Now, we're in November, and I can't even believe I'm saying this sometimes, but honestly, guys, I've had the best summer of my life. It's been unreal. I would say, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. I didn't think I would get upset because it's a really happy thing. These are tears of joy. If you're skipping through this and you think I'm crying because like I'm still in pain and life is awful, I'm not. Oh my gosh, why am I so emotional? This is insane. Oh, right, sorry about that. But yeah, I've had the best time. I really want people watching this video to feel like this gives them some hope. It's hard to explain, but I remember being in the depths of complete despair, and I can't go into it in this video, but just like not being believed and told that the pain was in my head, and I just lost all hope for any future, because I really thought that that was going to be the rest of my life, because no doctor would take me seriously, and I really thought that I was suffering from a mental illness. I thought that I had made it up in my head, and it was really, really hard. And I remember being in the depths of that and watching videos, and do you know what? I will fully admit to you guys, I'd be so angry and so bitter if I watched a video like this saying, life's been great, like I'm living my best life. In the depths of it, I'd be like, why does she get to do that? I don't get to do that. And all I can say to you is this video isn't to rub it in. This video is not to go, surgery is a cure, because it absolutely isn't. I want to get that so clear. Surgery is not a cure. There is no cure for endometriosis at the moment. But this video is going out there to give you hope that you can go through the pain and suffering. It is a light at the end of the tunnel. I hope that's coming across the right way. Now look, I'm going to be really straight up and honest with you. I had a little bit of a problem below my belly button. So I can't think of the dates, but probably like 2-3 months afterwards, I had a lump below my belly button, and it was like almost like a pea size, maybe a bit bigger. And I tried to wear trousers again with jeans and things like that with a button. And every time I'd wear them, I'd be in agony, and it would press in on this lump. And yeah, it was a real problem actually. And I was doing some gentle like Pilates, and when I sat up, I could see the lump. Now, for those who don't know, I am not a medical professional at all, but I am studying, can't really say a lot, but I'm kind of studying in that area, and I actually currently work in healthcare as well. And my first thought, I'm sure a lot of people will think this as well, was, oh my gosh, I've got a hernia. But I thought, there's no way it's a hernia, like, come on, why would I have a hernia, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I just booked in, saw my consultant, and he was amazing, and he said, look, I think you've got a hernia. I'm not going to say this right, it's either umbilical, but that doesn't sound right, umbilical. See, to me, it's umbilical cord, so umbilical hernia. I'm going to say that, and somebody's going to hate me in the comments, but I think you know what I mean. So a hernia just below the belly button, and he said, look, it's really common. It's not a hernia in the sense of like the bowel wall. It doesn't involve the bowel at all. It's just where we've done so many surgeries and it's weakened, basically. And basically, he put it very nicely in the sense that a bit of fat, because let's be honest, y'all know I have quite a good layering, has pushed through. And so then I was like, okay, great. We know what it is. No problem. Awesome. And he was like, yeah, you need surgery to fix it. And oh my gosh, I was like, no. I literally looked at this poor man and I was like, I am not having another surgery 2 months after having this surgery and smashing it, like, not a chance. So I was worried, I was really worried, and I just kept laughing. I mean, my poor surgeon must have thought I was insane. Like, I just kept laughing, being like, this is ridiculous, like, my life is ridiculous, I can't catch a break, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I went for an ultrasound a couple of weeks later, and they couldn't really find the hernia. Now look, I'm going to be upfront and honest here. I know my body, and I certainly will not be fully trusting any medical professional over my own view of my body and what I can feel. There is still a lump there. My surgeon and the sonographer, who are very, very well trained, and I have no doubt know way more than I do, are saying it's not a hernia, it's a hematoma, it's a bruise. Now, for me personally, I think 6-7 months down the line, you shouldn't still have a bruise after keyhole surgery. But I have decided to just take the win of not being in pain. It doesn't hurt, like, it only hurts if I wear jeans, so I just basically don't wear jeans, which is a small price to pay, and I'm just going to leave it and hope that it resolves itself, because they're not willing to do surgery now because they don't feel that there's anything there. That's fine, I don't want a surgery anyway, so I'm just going to leave it and, yeah, hope for the best, really. So that's the only complication as such that I had from the surgery. Since then, back pain. First thing I noticed, back pain was gone. Absolute dream. The pelvic heaviness had gone. The biggest thing this time around, which I cannot get over, is the fatigue. I have so much more energy. I mean, I'm able to hold down a full-time job, which is just incredible. Like, if I think back to 4 years ago, I was self-employed because I was too scared to commit to any work schedule. I was working like not even part-time. I was sleeping for 3 hours in the day. It was just horrendous. And now I've just got so much more energy. So yeah, it's been amazing. I would say my journey was quite quick after I had the surgery, which just isn't the same for everyone, and I do want to reiterate that. And quite soon after my surgery, and I do want to touch upon this because I think it is really important. I know a lot of people that are suffering with endo will understand, or suffering with anything really. But after I had my surgery, I was just like, right, I don't know how much time, it sounds really dramatic, but I don't know how much time I've got until this comes back, because we all know it does usually come back. So I was like, I'm gonna cut my hair. So yeah, I've cut my hair. This is actually grown out, so this is like a long bob. Y'all came on this channel to watch about my uterus, and I'm like, here's my hair. But yeah, so I cut my hair, which I never thought I would do because I never had the confidence to, because I was so insecure about the way my stomach looked. So I, in a weird way, I used to keep my hair really long to just kind of like cover up. And I was just like, no, this is ridiculous. Life's too short. So I cut my hair, freaking loved it. Filmed a music video that I'd been putting off for so long because of the way my stomach looked. Don't get me wrong, I still look back on that music video thinking, my God, I look 4 months pregnant. But you know what? It was about 6 weeks after surgery. So I'm going to give myself a bit of credit where credit's due. I think just having the ovary, so my ovary was stuck to my pelvic sidewall. And I think my uterus as well. So my surgeon separated all of that. And I think just that's really helped. I'm able to move better. I can do Pilates and do yoga and do exercise without like feeling like I'm tearing something. What else has been really good? Like, I can't stop smiling. It's because I never thought I would make this video. Genuinely, I never thought I'd be sat here going, my life's great. I really love my life. I'm not in pain. I'm not constantly going back and forth to surgeons and specialists and doctors. Yeah, I just never thought I'd make it. I never, ever, ever thought I'd make this video, and this is the best moment ever. So I'm just gonna keep smiling. So I also turned 26. I'm now like heading towards my late 20s. What the hell? I literally wasted all of my 20s being in agony and not believed. I'm still bitter. But yeah, I turned 26, had the best birthday ever, went to a bottomless brunch, got really, really drunk. And normally what would happen if I'd got really drunk is I'd be in agony the next day, probably start bleeding, all of that kind of stuff. And nah, didn't happen, I just carried on. Bleeding, periods. So I did bleed irregularly for a while. So I'm on the mini pill, I'm on desodestrol. Been on that for about 2 years consistently, so I don't tend to have periods, and that's the way I like it. I did bleed inconsistently and irregularly, obviously after the surgery. That's quite normal for me. And then actually weirdly last month I just randomly like started feeling like very periody. Started like wanting to eat everything, which isn't particularly a monthly occurrence, but just felt really bloated and sore. And yeah, I bled for like 2 days. I was actually quite happy because I got to try out my period pants from Primark. Oh my God, can you imagine if like one of my ex-boyfriends or like somebody I'm dating is watching this video? If you are, just turn it off, like please. You're just ruining your own illusion of me. So I got to try those out. They're great, by the way, highly recommend. And yeah, apart from that, not really having many problems. So pain-wise, would I say the pain has completely and utterly gone? I would say 95%, which is, I will take it. There are the occasional times where I'm like, oh, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling a cramp. And I take my meds and I stick a UU bottle on, or I use my Overa TENS machine, which by the way, I highly, highly recommend. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see there's some information about it. Yeah, so I just know how to deal with it a bit better now, because it's not happening all the time. So the methods of treatment that I have in place help more now because I don't need to use them all the time, which I understand is not everyone's situation, and I am really sympathetic to that because I have been there. Look, thing is, there is no one's the same. You can't compare. My recovery was great. Who knows why? I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to be thankful for my situation. My endometriosis, interestingly, hadn't grown back that badly. The main issue was the fact that my ovary was stuck to the pelvic sidewall and the uterus. That was the main issue. So the endometriosis actually wasn't that bad if you compare it to the second op that I had, where it was really bad and it was everywhere pretty much. I do believe that some of that is down to lifestyle, but also some of it is just down to pure luck. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say to you, you need to be vegan, you need to do this, because I didn't do it. So, you know, it's just more kind of figuring out what makes you feel worse, what makes you feel better. So for me, I found that red meat was a big problem for inflammation. So if I had red meat, I'd get really bad endometriosis pain and pelvic pain. Could be a coincidence, who knows, but I stopped it. It's probably a good thing anyway. If I ate too much sugar, too much caffeine, things like that, I still, don't get me wrong, I still love an orange Yorkie. I know, a bit niche, isn't it? Honestly, I think it's just potluck, and also the fact that I'm not having estrogen. You know, that is a massive, massive issue. I find that a lot of doctors stick you on the combined pill or stick you on estrogen patches or whatever it might be, and actually, like, you are watering a plant. You are giving food to endometriosis for it to grow. It's not a good idea, in my opinion. Not a medical expert. Probably worth noting as well that, as some of you may know, and I'm not going to delve into it because it's not particularly relevant to this video, but I have a lot of other health conditions. So I always joke with my mum and dad. My mum and dad are absolutely perfectly healthy. They don't have any autoimmune conditions, and both my brother and I came out with autoimmune conditions. So I don't know what happened, but some kind of chromosome got mixed up there, because yeah, I wasn't born with a lot of luck in the health department. And in recent years, I've had a lot of problems with endocrine systems. So my pituitary gland and the hormones that are associated with that, cortisol, things like that. And I have to say that's really been, kept at bay as well. So I think all of it's really helped. The other thing I want to touch on is mental health and mental well-being, which I never talk about. So I'm just going to get a drink. I never really talk about mental health on this channel, or really actually on my Instagram as well. I find it a really difficult subject to talk about, because I feel like there's so many opinions and so much information out there regarding mental health, good resources as well. And I feel like sometimes when you open up about your own mental health, you allow people to make comments that aren't invited. I don't know if that makes sense. And you allow people to make judgments upon your life that are based on a snippet of information. So it's a tough one for me to talk about. So if I was to condense it just to endometriosis, because we all know that endometriosis, you know, the side effects include depression and anxiety. Now, I would say that I've always suffered with health-related depression. So I didn't believe, I'm trying to word this correctly, I didn't believe that I suffered with clinical depression. I believed that I suffered with circumstantial depression. So, i.e., a doctor didn't believe me, that misdiagnosed me, it was medical negligence in my eyes. I then suffered in silence for 2 years in excruciating pain with raging endometriosis covering all of my reproductive organs. That's going to make someone a bit depressed. That's going to make someone feel pretty crap about themselves and their life. The other thing I want to say, and the effect that with mental health, is being in pain every single moment of every single day, and I do mean that, it didn't go away, is exhausting and mentally draining. And I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. You know, I didn't realise just how much I was battling. And no wonder I was struggling to, you know, keep in touch with every friend, put every invoice in on time, and, you know, and still be thriving and lose weight and all of this, you know, all these different things whilst being in excruciating pain. And I think since living the last 6 months more or less pain-free, I'm starting to live like a normal 25, 26-year-old, and it's incredible. If you're sat there watching this right now and you're thinking, that's me, that's my life, like I'm in pain all the time, I'm not being able to get stuff done, you are an absolute hero. You are a superwoman. Honestly, like, just give yourself a pat on the back, because my God, most people would not be able to do what you're doing right now, and you will get there. But it's one of the hardest challenges you'll face I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is really, really hard, but it will make you a stronger person in the long run and a more empathetic, more well-rounded person as well. So moving on from that, because I didn't really explain it very well and I didn't really delve into it, but we'll just move on from it. So I'm going to touch on something, a little bit of a sensitive subject, so please turn this video off or skip forward. I'll try and put a timestamp below if this is a topic that you don't really want to hear about right now, which please protect your soul and your mind right now. You know, if I'm talking about things that could trigger you or make you upset, that's the last thing I want to do with this video. So maybe just forward this a little bit. I'm going to be talking about fertility, kind of journey with it, my thoughts on it. So yeah, if this isn't for you, skip forward. I'm 26. I am currently, whilst this video is being filmed, see that manifestation, very single. And I have absolutely no intentions on getting pregnant. I can't believe I'm telling you this on the internet. This is insane. I don't even say this to like most of my family members. Yeah, I have no intention of getting pregnant anytime soon. So look, I'm going to be really honest and open about this because I feel like, you know, people aren't. People are so like, oh my gosh, I love kids. Like, you know, kids are a gift. Kids are amazing. They are. They're wonderful. Should probably mention I teach children, so I do get a very different view of lots of different children. So I'm used to being around children. Now, here's the thing. A couple of my friends are like starting to get married and have kids, and one of my really close friends has had a beautiful baby girl who I am in love with, I adore with all of my heart, and I love being her Auntie Emma, and I would do anything to protect her, and she's just wonderful, and my friends are the most amazing parents and mum and dad that this little girl could ever wish for. But for me, I think because I don't have that partner and I don't have that person that I'm like, yeah, I want to build a life with you, for me it's just so separate. I can only ever really imagine myself at the moment being Auntie Emma to my friends' kids, and, you know, and being the godmom or being whoever, or, you know, auntie to my brother's kids or something like that. Oh my gosh, if he saw this, he would freak out. But yeah, I think for me, it feels a lifetime away, which is not a bad thing. I think there's a huge pressure on women in particular about conceiving and, you know, getting married, having kids, having the perfect life, being a working mom, smashing it, all of this kind of stuff. Do things, you know, judging by your biological clock. Now, if you'd have said to me when I was 17, 18, you know, you're not going to particularly want to have kids, and you can't imagine your life with kids in it. I haven't said this out loud. At the age of 26, I would have been like, not a chance. Like, I was born to be a mother, I'm maternal, like, blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing. I think I probably am maternal. I think a lot of women are maternal. Do I love children? Yes, I love children. Do I recognise and am I mature enough and have gone through so much upset and unpredictability and scary situations in life to recognise that children are a big, big decision and one that should not be taken lightly? Yes, also. Now look, everybody does things at their own pace. For me, at the moment, in this present moment, because you can never say never, having children just isn't a priority. And actually, I always said, you know, if I went on a date with someone and they said they never want to have children, that would be me out. I'd just be like, oh, look, there's no point taking this any further. Put it this way, this experience and just a lot of other things building around it has made me realise that I actually wouldn't walk away from that date. You know, I would probably be like, okay, interesting point of view. I could maybe work with that, you know? When I say this right now, this is so strange and so emotive, and I hope that you guys realise it. When I say this, I get really paranoid that I'm accidentally manifesting. I don't even believe in manifestation, but I'm accidentally manifesting me not to be able to get pregnant in the future. So I've always been so paranoid about talking about it. But actually, I think a lot of people feel like that, and someone needs to say it. So I'm just gonna take my chances and say it. I think probably if I meet the right person, I would love to have children. I mean, honey, it would be a crime for me not to reproduce. You know what I mean? I can also envision my life being very full and very happy and feeling very well loved without children, if that makes sense. You realise that it's no longer this like huge thing that everyone makes it out to be, of just like, you must have children in order to feel fulfilled in life, you know? So that's where my head's at with fertility, if that makes sense. Basically, at the moment, I would like to put it off for as long as possible because I like to go shopping on my own without screaming children. I also can't even commit to a dog, to be completely honest with you, so I just wouldn't know where to start with a child. And I will continue to look after all of my friends' beautiful children and dress them up in fur and diamantes and then hand them back at the end of the day. Now, on a slightly serious note, just again, I'm just gonna do a little bit of an add-on with the fertility stuff. So the reason I brought this up is obviously a lot of you will know that endometriosis, one of the symptoms, side effects is infertility. Now that does not mean, please don't watch this video like I did and so many people did, you know, watch this video and think, oh my goodness, if I have endometriosis, I can't get pregnant, better try now. No, don't do that, unless you're ready and you're actively trying. Lots of people with endometriosis can get pregnant the first time trying. So please don't do that. My mum had endometriosis. A lot of people can get pregnant naturally. It's just some may find it a little bit harder or might need some intervention and some treatment. So for me, here's the two things I'm battling. It's more than two things, but let's just split it into two. So I have endometriosis. I also have PCOS, which also can cause infertility. And I also have, and I'm not going to explain it on this channel because it's so overcomplicated because it involves the endocrine system, but I basically have an issue with my hormones and my ovary stimulating hormones. So basically, it's not looking good. And you know what? Every time I go in an airport security, I get buzzed on that thing, that, what's it called? Like the metal detectors. I get buzzed and then they put me in that thing that has radiation, and I'm pretty sure all my eggs are fried from that anyway because I go on a lot of holidays. Yeah, I've got it stacked against me in terms of fertility. And then on the flip side, age and biological clock. It is a real thing. So I'm 26. Now, if I don't meet someone until I'm 30, let's say, I probably want to get married before I have kids. And then before you know it, I could be 35 and like my mum went into premature menopause. Like there's just a lot stacked against me in this department. Can't believe I'm being so open on the internet. I'm a bit worried that my mum might kill me. It'll be fine. Yeah, so there's a lot stacked against me. So I am someone that has always been a fan of insurance policies. I take out insurance for everything because I always think, my mum always says to me, if you've got it, you won't need it. And that's where I'm at with it. So I've been looking into egg freezing. It's always been something that has been on my mind. Now, I don't want to do it now because I don't want to rock the boat. So with egg freezing, you're injecting yourself for 21 or I believe sometimes it's 28 days. And then you're having an egg retrieval. It's a big procedure. Like a lot of people are very American about it, where they're like, oh my God, I'll just go and freeze my eggs like the Kardashians did. It's not a walk in the park. And it's also ridiculously expensive. You've then got to keep them in the freezer. You can't just stock them in your like American fridge freezer at home. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot to think about when you're thinking about fertility and IVF and freezing your eggs and stuff. So it is in the back of my mind, and my plan of action is when I get to 29, depending on my situation and also my financial situation, I will start to freeze my eggs because I believe that then, probably based on all of the medical knowledge that I've been given about my reproductive system, my egg quality might start to decline. So I'd rather freeze them as they are. It's a bit like, I probably shouldn't use this analogy, but it's a bit like getting Botox before you get wrinkles, which I'm not endorsing Botox. No one needs Botox, I'm just saying. You know, it's a preventative and a insurance policy, isn't it? So for me, I would rather have some really good quality eggs than have some like bottom shelf broken ones when I'm 35 and panicking, if that makes sense. Surgeon, I spoke to him, he's not a fertility specialist at all, but he was like, I would just wait for a bit and start trying naturally if you can, if you're ready. But as we have discussed, as I have discussed, that's not for a long time. So that's where my head's at. Do you know what? If anyone is going through freezing their eggs or fertility or IVF, or are a bit older than me and has been through this journey, please leave a comment below. I'd be really interested to know your experience with it and any advice you have. I just think like it's really helpful to get lots of people's views and opinions and stories. Just don't make it negative. Please don't judge me for my choices, because they will probably change. I will probably change my mind in 2-3 years, but this is just where my head's at now, and I'm just word vomiting it over to you guys. I probably have not done this video justice at all, but basically I'm feeling great. I'm hoping that I have as much time as possible feeling this way, but I'm also very aware that I will probably need another surgery in the future, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm sending you all so much love, because I think most people that will be watching this video, unless you're just a nosy hater, I see you. I think most people that will be watching this video will be going through something similar, or, you know, are due to have surgery and just looking for a bit of support and advice, and I hope that that's what this video has done for you. All views are obviously my own, and I have a very strange sense of humour. Well, I don't think it's strange, I think I'm really funny. But yeah, I think hopefully you understand my sense of humour. You have to have a sense of humour. If you've been through the stuff I've been through, you have to have a sense of humour, let me tell you. Please ask me any questions. My DMs are always open. Comment down below. Get the support that you need. Get in contact with Endometriosis UK helpline. They are fantastic. Support groups, local support groups are brilliant as well. You are not on your own. There is 1 in 10 women suffering with this horrendous disease, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And like I said, there isn't a cure yet, but there are treatments and there are ways to hopefully be able to help you. Please hang on. Please don't give up. I promise you it's so worth it. I'm going to get upset again. Oh my gosh, I'm so not attractive when I cry. I'm a really ugly crier as well. Please hang up. Oh my god. Please hang on. You will get there. You will. I know how hard it is. I really do. Do you know what? When I get sent messages and DMs of people telling me their stories, or telling me like that they found my video. Oh my gosh, why am I so upset? That they found my video and it's helped them push to get a diagnosis and things like that. I genuinely sit there. My mum thinks I'm mad, I think. I genuinely sit there and I sob. I feel their pain so much, because I don't think it ever goes away. But yeah, I just think, just push, do everything you can. I'm getting so upset. I'm so sorry. Push as much as you can. If you are a partner as well, this is one thing I want to say. If you're a partner watching this video, and you're just looking for something to help you with your partner that's going through it, because I do get a few people commenting and DMing actually, which is really lovely. Just be there for her, be there for that person that is going through endometriosis, and seeking a diagnosis. I don't think you will ever understand what it's like. No one will, unless they've gone through it. But what you can do is be really supportive. Believe that person. You have no reason to not believe them. Believe that person, because no one knows their body better than they do. So yeah. Oh, I need to sort myself out. Anyway, I am going to stop waffling now. I have no idea what this video is going to be like. I am so sorry if it's rubbish. Please, if you want any more information or you want me to film a video, it will probably take me another 6 months. But just comment below, let me know. And yeah, I'm just sending you all loads of love. I hope that helped. I'm going to stop talking now. Bye.